Good evening.
Hey guys, it's been a while, but I am back. Actual Dracula 2025 in your face, coming at ya. Alright guys, so this is the video. Welcome to it. Yeah, it's been a while, like I said right at the beginning of this video, but I just wanted to come out here and do this, whatever I'm doing right now. I'm not sure what this video is exactly. I'm gonna call this, let's call this 2024 reach around 2024 wrap around. No, 2024-2025 rip around. Yeah, and we're gonna call it that. And basically, I'm just gonna, I guess, talk about a little bit about you know, what I've been up to, because I haven't been doing much on this channel the past year. I'll talk a bit about, you know, what I've been up to. I'll show off a few things I picked up recently, and maybe talk about a little bit about what's in store for the future for myself and this channel, such as it is. So, where do we begin? January 1st, 2024, New Year's Day. I don't remember what I was doing. January 2nd, 2024. I mean, I guess on the 1st I was probably recovering from New Year's Eve, which I don't really recall doing much, no big parties or anything. I was probably just watching movies. So sorry, that was the 1st. So January 2nd, 2024. Probably watched another movie or something, played some video games. January 3rd, 2024. Yeah, made some food, played some video games. No. Anyhow, January 5th, I forget what day I'm on. Okay, so you know what, let's just scrap that whole idea. Let's just freeball this whole thing, stream of consciousness style. Yeah, so 2024 was an interesting year, I guess, for me. Those of you who do watch and are subscribed to me, you'll notice that I didn't really post a whole lot of content this past year, primarily just due to the fact that I was focused more on my artwork and growing in that arena, and really just sticking to, you know, a daily practice as much as possible. Basically, why I was not posting so much this year on my YouTube channel was it just kind of took a backseat, wasn't really a priority. I wasn't really, I didn't really have that much to talk about in terms of like comic book content, because I really wasn't buying many comics this year. I didn't read as many comics this year as I would have liked to, but I did read some really good ones. And I'll circle back to that though, because I would like to kind of finish speaking on the year I had like as an artist, which again I thought was very productive, certainly compared to all the years before, pretty much. I had an idea that I would be further along with a certain project than I am, which is the comic book I'm working on. I'll speak on that towards the end of the video, but that's okay, because I ended up doing other things that, you know, I'm just as glad that I got to work on. And in terms of my art show Blood and Ink Out, my initial intention was to maybe have more kind of process videos, which I didn't really do this year. Last year, maybe this year, we'll see what happens. I do have footage of stuff I was drawing on that I didn't end up editing together. Maybe that will happen somewhere down the line, or maybe you'll just forget it, just start fresh. So one of my goals this year is to kind of build out that show a bit, Blood and Ink Out, and I guess kind of figure out what it is. I'm still not entirely sure. As I said before, we'll probably do some live streams with other artists. I think that I'm also going to use that as a platform to do some things I've been wanting to do for a while, which is just more of a deep dive on some of the other artists that I really like. So that's my plan for that show for 2025. And all in all, in terms of what I accomplished this past year as an artist, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I did have some things that ended up in print, and you know, starting with we've got the comics, very first Comics Curing Cancer art book, which I was honored to be a part of. And Comics Curing Cancer had another really successful year, nearly hitting the $55,000 goal at the end of the C3 weekend. And I just recently checked, and I think it is now past that goal. It's around 57,000. So yeah, amazing year for C3 once again. And yeah, this book, awesome, put together by by the C3 guys, Rob Fatstacks, DJ Lynx, Mark from Legion of Comics, and they did a phenomenal job as always. Yeah, so I was really happy to be part of this. A lot of great art by great artists in here, and so that was very cool to be included in that. Now, without a doubt, the biggest influence on my year as an artist, and one of my biggest sources of just inspiration and being this driving force for me to just to keep at it, keep plugging away at it, continuing to practice and grow, has been the K-Fam, and being part of this amazing K-Fam community, the K-Fab Core. Just an amazing group of artists and people, and it's something I had not anticipated, that I would have the opportunity to not only be part of this group, but also to have the opportunity to be part of these amazing collaborative projects. And yeah, that's really been just kind of the highlight for me of this past year, and into this year going forward. Of course, I gotta give a huge shout out to Brian Christopher Moss, because Mossy's the one that really brought us all together. Also have to give a huge shout out to Jeremy Heiler and Vera Stewart, two people who I did not know at all previous to this past year, and but really became huge inspirations for me, just seeing their work ethic and the effort they put in. Jeremy put out so many comics this year. Vera put out some amazing stuff this year as well, but also the two of them just being kind of this, I think, inspirations to everyone in the K-Fam. I have no doubt about that. But also just being part of the, helping to get the Power to the Podcast, Power to the Panel podcast. Power to the Panel podcast. There it is, guys. Check that if you haven't. Again, that's Brian Christopher Moss, and Jeremy and Vero are a big part of that as well. Speaking of Power to the Panel, shout out to Deanna, who has a show in there as well. Great show, going over people's work. She's an editor for Scout Comics, and she's actually editing the current K-Fam project, which I need to get finish up my piece so I can get that to her. I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I just gotta color. It's just color. I just gotta add color to it. Actually, maybe I should be coloring it instead of recording this video. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll get it done. It's on the way. So being part of the K-Fam, huge part of this past year for me. One, of course, I didn't anticipate, as this really came about as a result of a tragedy with the passing of Ed Piskor. As initially what we all had in common was that we were, big fans of Ed and Jim and cartoonist K-Fam. But that really evolved and blossomed into this incredible collective of artists and creators and cartoonists who ended up working together, and now we're not just coming, we're here. We are here, and the things that we've been working on, it's been I think a learning process for pretty much anyone involved. But the fact that you had this group of people that didn't really know each other before, and then kind of right off the bat we were making a comic book together in 24 hours. That was just such an incredible thing to be a part of and to continue to be a part of. So, huge shout out to Mossy and just everyone in the K-Fam. And so with the K-Fam, publications, where it really all started was with the 25 Summers anthology zine, tribute zine for Ed Piskor. This was the first thing that I contributed to, and this was put together by Justine and the Piskor family, as well as Brian and Vero and Sarah. And yeah, so I was honored to be a part of this, and really incredible book. So many amazing artists and pieces in here. There's people showing their love for Ed, because he really, he certainly inspired all of us in the K-Fam. Yeah, so 25 Summers, very cool book. As I said, honored to be a part of that. There's the piece that I did. Marching orders, read more comics. I'll just show one more thing, which really, it's all I can show right now. I wish I had everyone's books to show, and even the ones I'm part of, I don't. This I have shown before. This is our first 24-hour comic together. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Grand Design, and this is issue 0, so this is where everyone kind of just did their own thing, and we, but when Brian ended up putting it all together, I don't know, it all clicks, it all works so well together. But this is issue 0, but since then we've done Grand Design issue 1, we've done the Ninja Turtles Through Time as well. So 3 Ninja Turtle books now that I have been a part of. And I would have liked to show those other 2 Turtle books, which I was going to order last month, but Canada's Postal Service was on strike for like a month, so I didn't place orders for anything. So I should be ordering some of those this month, and then I'll show those off in a future video, as well as hopefully some other future K-Fam projects as well, of course. And I know there's a bunch of great things that have been made this year, and stuff down the pipeline as well. And yeah, but we'll get into that another time. Just wanted to say, yeah, huge shout out to the K-Fam, and thank you to everyone that's part of that. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about 2024. That's last year. That's old hat. Speaking of hats, before I move on to the next segment, I just wanted to throw something out there, pitch you guys this idea I had. Now, we all know what toques are, right? This is a toque, and or as some of you in the US would incorrectly call a beanie, it's a toque, right? We've all seen those before, and we've all seen ski masks, right? Which I'm not sure why they're called ski masks, because skiers skiing down the slopes, I don't know if I've ever seen them wear ski masks. It's usually more like bank robbers wearing them while robbing a bank. So maybe they should be called bank masks. I don't know. But now hear me out. What if you could combine the two, right? Let's say you want to wear a toque. You want to keep your head warm, but your face is fine. But then maybe you gets a bit colder and your face starts getting cold, and you're like, oh man, I wish I brought my ski mask instead of just my toque. Well, how about now you could have both? So just check it out, right? So you go, you have your toque, you're walking outside, you're walking, and then cold gust of wind hits your face, and you're like, oh my god, what do I do? Voila. So this is another big thing for me this year, has been working on this project. Keep in mind, this is just a prototype. I'm gonna, kind of refine the stitching around the eyes, and I've been playing around with the idea of embroidering a logo. I could put maybe the actual Dracula logo on there, but I'm thinking, if these things start to take off, I could ramp up production, and possibly invest in some high-end embroidery machines, and then really I can embroider anything you'd like. Your favorite emoji, maybe the little guy throwing up, or a margarita, or flag of South Korea or the flag of North Korea, whatever you want, or different symbols, yin yang, or an upside down cross, or a right side up cross, or a Star of David or a swastika. It doesn't matter to me. It's all the same thing to the embroidery machine. So that's just keep that in mind, that you could potentially, this is just a blank canvas for whatever you want on it. The main thing is that it's going to it provides you with that option of, you've got two modes. You've got toque mode, right, as we showed before, and then it's real simple. There's really three modes when you think about it, because you got, okay, I should have, this is just kind of, I'll call this a warm-up for my Shark Tank pitch, and I'm kind of working through things here, and this is great because, sort of like a comedian, working on the material and working at the bugs, seeing what works with different audiences and what doesn't. That's what I'm doing right here with my Shark Tank pitch for my bank mask. And is that I'm realizing now that this thing doesn't just have two modes, it has three modes. Okay, so bear with me. You've got mode 1, toque mode, right? And then you've got I would call this mode 2, which for me this would be kind of like standard mode, right? But then you've got mode 3, which is full mask mode, right? And so that's when it gets really cold out, and you got to cover your whole noggin and face. And so, but initially I was just thinking like this is gonna be. You might not want your mouth covered up all the time, and so let me know what you guys think in the comments. Oh, before I forget, I did want to show this because I did mention one of the current K-Fan projects that I got a color. But here's the inks. This is a Hellboy book called Odd Jobbers, and guys, let me tell you, with the stuff I've seen so far, this book's gonna be amazing. I did manage to put this pinup together of our boy Hellboy atop this pile of I guess dead crusaders, or I don't know, just a bunch of skeletons with swords and whatnot. Yeah, so there's that, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that book once it's all together. Let's sell 55 right now. Look at this. Yeah, so there's a fun, there's a Chips crossword. Haven't done the ad. Yeah, I don't know. This might be too difficult for me, actually. Hit me up if you want a bank hat.